Well, good afternoon, fellow Bold Not Olders. This is Wallis Pattisonn, Wednesdays with Wallis. Hope you've been watching this. It comes up on my YouTube channel, Bold Not Old. So go there and you'll see all of the videos that I've been doing, over this last few months. So there's several weeks of them. Go and have a look. Go and take a look at the videos and look at what I've been saying. Okay, all right, today, doing a little bit of bling gold today. So this necklace, earrings, orange. I've done the orange thing today. I had this bit of, look, I had a top and I took the top because I didn't like the length of it. I didn't like it. So I cut a piece off it. This is the piece I cut off. And so I created this bit of a scarfy thing out of it. Look, well, I stand up and show you. So I like the orange. I've got black and orange on today. And in fact, under here is, look, gorgeous. And so I created this bit of a scarf out of it because it had a bit longer, piece on it. So I created this, pulled it up, did this with it, wore this necklace as well with it, gave it a bit of a thing. And I've got this long top I just showed you, a white thing underneath that keeps me extra warm. And the pants actually are not black, they're navy. And I've got a pair of nice, can't see them, but a nice pair of, excuse me, a nice pair of black shoes on with them as well. A little bit of bling jewellery and a watch that's got, pardon me, orange on the band, but yellow. And I lived in America at one time, and when I lived there, I bought this watch on a place that I visited I used to go back, sometimes go there, and it's a little lovely area out of Seattle called Whidbey Island, and you actually go out past, pardon me, the Boeing factory, and you go out and you get on this ferry that takes you across to Whidbey Island. People do it every day. They go back and forth to work because they live on Whidbey Island. So it's all absolutely fabulous, and it's got some gorgeous little shops there. Great place. And so I bought this watch, saw it in a window, Salentino or something like that it's called, Sanalitro, Italian watch, and it's a big, chunky thing, but I love it, and I saw it and fell in love with it, and, the must-haves, fell in love with it and bought it. Okay, it's a little minute or so past the half hour, and I want to get on with today's show because perhaps it's a little bit more serious today, but I got thinking about what would the topic be for today. And my topics often arise out of, keep talking to you while I clean my glasses because they're terribly, terribly grumpy. And at the moment, I'm having trouble seeing you out of them. So let me just, while I'm talking to you, just give my glasses a clean while I'm chatting. You won't mind that, will you? So often my topics every week come out of something that's been going on or something that's been happening or something that's been, most often, something that I've been experiencing or going through myself. And then when it comes to Wednesdays with Wallis, I have a little chat about that and, what that means and, what I think about it, what opinions I have. And at the end of the day, I just want to be able to tell you that it's just an opinion, okay? And lots of people have got opinions, including me. I have strong opinions about certain things, as I'm sure that you do as well, even if you don't realise that you do. I'm sure you have strong opinions about things. I certainly do. And as I've gotten older, this damn thing, since I moved into this house, I've had terrible, terrible sinus. I've been to the naturopath. And anyway, today, what's been happening for me this week is this thing has been coming up. How do I know it'll work? Topic today is, how do I know it will work? Well, of course, I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? I mean, we don't. We don't know if things will work. We go out and we think we'll try something or do something. We don't know whether it'll work. We don't know how it'll be or what it'll be, or we just don't have the answers to that. But we want to. We want to have the answers. You know, when I first started Bold Not Old 3 years ago, 3 years. It's 3 years about this time, because I'd just had my gallbladder out, and previous to that, I'd had a little trip on the stairs, landed on my knees and hurt my knee, feeling pretty miserable for myself. The gallbladder had to come out reasonably quickly, and it was quite dangerous because it had shredded into little stones, and was heading back the other way towards the liver and stuff. Well, if it gets there, good night, I would have been gone. So it was quite serious, the gallbladder thing. I'd had gallbladder problems for years, but it decided to flare up and do really horrible things to me. It flared up my liver and made me very, very ill. I was very, very ill at the time. And I think the big question mark then was, my mortality. Whoa, gee, I could have died from this. Because I actually knew someone, an acquaintance, not a close friend, but an acquaintance, who that actually happened to them. They died because their gallbladder spewed out all its little rocks and stones, and all went back the other way, and there's nothing they can do then. So they died. When I had it out and all that sort of thing, I decided to start Bold Not Old. One, because I was feeling my own mortality, and feeling mortal, not invincible as I always had felt, and I was getting older. At that time, that was 3 years ago. I've just turned 75, so I was 72 then. Well, not quite. Yeah, no, I'd turned 72. I was feeling this thing about getting older, like, where's the manual for this? How do I handle this? How do I cope with all the changes that are around getting older? I decided to do something that really floated my boat. I wanted to do something I really enjoyed, and I love fashion and, well, not just fashion, I love style. I love creating things. I'm a real creator in certain ways. So I like creating what I wear, and I like getting into my wardrobe and going, this goes with this, what can I do with that? Where's that bit of material that I hung on to, or what's that scarf that I really liked? And I pull out things and pull them up, find some pins or clips, and I love doing it. So I decided to do something that I really, really loved, and that was express myself through my clothes. And I went in search of, and I think I've said this before, and if you've listened to some of my videos, you'll probably pick up on the fact that I'm repeating myself. I started on looking to see if there was anybody else that did those sorts of things. And there were. And there were lots of them all over the world. So I started to tune in on their blogs and tune in on what they were saying and tune in on podcasts they were on. And I started to look at who those people were. And, of course, I came across, I'm not really skinny. I don't have this, gorgeous, spectacular skinny body. That'd be nice. And so I did feel a little bit sort of like, oh, my God, I'm a bit fatty and I'm not like those people and they look fabulous and I don't. Got into that a bit. So, but this whole thing about, will it work? Well, I think the first thing for me was I didn't really stop and think about, will it work? I just started doing something I really, really enjoyed. And over this 3-year period, it's morphed, and it certainly has done that during the whole COVID thing, because Bold Not Old was very much about face-to-face. It was just soirees and put on things and lunches. A group of people had come and we just had a laugh and a good time. It was great. Produced some lovely Soul Wisdom Oracle cards not long before I had my gallbladder out. I started to do some readings around Soul Wisdom Oracle cards. I'm a very spiritual person. I have a very spiritual bent. So I started to do those, and they're quite spectacular and lovely. I must do a thing on them one day on one of my Wednesdays with Wallis, so I get a little treat there. I didn't really think about, will this work or won't it? Because I really just wanted to do something after a bit of a shock and everything. I wanted to do something that I felt fabulous about. I wanted to do something I'd really enjoy, and I love dressing up and I love clothes, and I could fill my dressing room up with some more clothes, and I had the liberty to do that. I could fulfill some of those dreams and things. But this thing about, how do I know if it'll work? one of the things that I've adopted is this, and this is really, really important. We're going to talk about it for the next 5 minutes, is this whole thing about if we say things like, if we look at what we want, let's say you want a new home, you want a home. So let's say at the moment that you're renting and you want to purchase yourself a home. Don't get into looking at how, when, where and who and in what way and all that, because that sets up a real resistance. And in fact, if you sit, don't take my word for it, sit and think about those words. Ask yourself those questions and feel, see where you feel it. Most times, I'll guarantee you, I bet you, that it'll hit you in the gut and you'll think, oh, God, I feel sick thinking about it. Or it's, oh, God, it makes me yicky. I can't even work it out. My head's scrambled. It's spaghetti, and get into all sorts of stuff with that, because it really does set up a strong resistance energetically. It sets up a strong resistance. So you're probably thinking, well, okay, well, what else do I do? Well, what's the alternative? Tell me, Wallis, what else I can do for that? Okay, well, here's the tweak, and it's not a big thing. It just means that you have to tweak this. Once again, ask yourself these questions as I tell you to, and then see how that feels to you. And I'll guarantee it feels different, because I know it does, because I, go through this exercise myself. So the least resistance energetically is, what do I want? So it's the house. I want to buy myself a new home. Why? So I want you to ask yourself why. Why do you want the new home? And then what will happen is it'll bring up all the reasons why you want it. Not how you're going to get it, when you're going to get it, in what way you're going to get it, who's going to help you get that, what place is going to give you the money. Don't get into all those things. I want you just simply to go down the track of, what is it that you want? Example, in this particular case, the new house. Why do you want that? And you might want it because it's something you've always wanted. You might want it because you'll feel terrific about yourself because you've got this new home. You might want it because you want to make a sea change. You might want it because you want a creative project. I mean, those latter things would be me, by the way. So ask yourself those. What is it that you want and why? And only focus on that. Only focus on that. Go about, putting things in place, doing your best with it. You'll find that different opportunities will present themselves, because they do. The house might turn up, somebody out of the blue sends you a picture of something and you go, oh my God, that's it, that's the house. If you haven't already, got your heart set on something already. And this happens to me all the time. All the time. I'll be thinking about something. I've been thinking for quite some time now about having a place in the country. I'd really like a place in the country, not too far out of Melbourne, not too far from where I live, but a place in the country. And why do I want it? I want it because I really, really want the creative project of doing it up and changing it and doing all the things that I can visualise and that I can create, and all these ideas in my head about, how fabulous I want it to look. And I want it because I can see myself there weekends and at different times entertaining and people coming and staying, and I can hear all this laughter and, create, paving. I can get into. I want you to do that. Will you do that for me? I want you to get into not how, when, in what way, who's going to bring it, where is it. Don't Don't worry about all that yet. I had my head set on a place in a particular area. Something has actually come up recently. I can't go and look at it because we've got this COVID thing going on, but as soon as I can, I will. And it's come up in an area that's actually about 10 minutes from where I had originally picked. And of course, because it's 10 minutes away from the other place I picked or the other area, it's actually cheaper. So Spirit might be saying this is it. So I'll keep you posted. But for you, I want you to not get into how, when, why, when, all the stuff, who's going to do it, how am I going to... Don't worry about all that. I want you to forget about that and just ask yourself, what is it I want and why? Will you do that for me? And you'll set up a whole different energy. I hope this has been helpful for you. I sort of think that, well, I've managed to change my life around this type of thinking and these sorts of things. Maybe I can give you a few hints and I can help you as well. Have a fabulous week. Enjoy yourself. Have an amazing time. Thank you for joining me on Wednesdays with Wallis. Join our soiree on 27th, I think, of the month it is. Should really know exactly what date it is. But anyway, head over to boldnotold.com.au and join for the soiree. The dates are in there and you'll see the date and you'll be able to fill the form out. It's free. You can join it, bring your glass of wine or your gin and tonic or whatever it is you're going to have for a little drinky on the night and join in, and I'll have some, free giveaway and what's going on with other people in other parts of the world as well. Thank you. Have a fabulous day. Enjoy. And remember to go over to boldnotold.com.au. See you next week. This is Wallis. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.